Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
Throughout history, clothes have reflected our society like no other product of mankind. For generations, they have represented what we think and how we feel, identifying a group or an individual. This historical collage of colors, cuffs, and collars is skillfully presented by the Spokane Vintage Fashion Collection, organized and run by the Women's Club of Spokane.
When it first got started in 1981, we were called the Spokane Centennial Fashion Collection. It was started to celebrate Spokane's centennial, which was in 1981.
With an aggressive campaign for donations, the Women's Club assembled a wide variety of vintage clothing, representing eras as far back as the 1880s.
We probably have, I would say, close to 500-600 outfits in our closet.
In the beginning, the Women's Club lent the collection out to groups that wanted to show the clothes. This resulted in unnecessary stress on the garments.
Some of these clothes are very fragile and are irreplaceable. You cannot replace these clothes. So then that's when they decided to, within the Women's Club and their friends, to come up with their own models that could wear the clothes, so that if we did a style show, we would only call on those people that we knew could wear those clothes without putting any stress on seams or on beadwork or that kind of thing.
Sometimes the items that are donated are well preserved, even coming in their original box, although most of the time they are in need of repair and must be resurrected by the group's seamstress. Often the material is so worn it cannot be shown in the style shows. The trunk show was developed not only to accommodate the fragile garments, but cater to the smaller groups of 50 or less.
A few years ago, we were only doing style shows, and it got to a point where we were doing full style shows and there were more people in the show than there were in the audience. So that's when we came up with the idea of the trunk show. And we set up a display like you can see behind me here, and we have a narrator and maybe 2, 3, or 4 models that go with her. And they only focus on clothes from 1880 to 1920.
No, the full length.
A full style show, we start in 1880 and we go up through 1980. I guess nowadays we need to say 1990, so it's 110 years of fashion. And it lasts about an hour, and we show between 40 and 50 outfits. Our models range in age from, well, in the past we've used maybe from 3 years old to 80 years old. And they come in all shapes and sizes, and that's also a lot of fun. We're not all tall, thin, stick people.
White cotton dresses were very popular. Kathy is wearing one.
The style shows and trunk shows allow onlookers a unique glimpse into the history of how our society has changed with the times.
We have a women's World War II uniform, and we always show that because that was a big part of the 40s.
For many, they can still remember the way it used to be.
If we do a show in a nursing home, these little old ladies and little old men, I used to dress just like that, So that's kind of fun.
Be it a school, church, or club, wherever the show is presented, people are amazed with the transformation that's taken place throughout the years.
If there are children in the audience, they love to see these wonderful clothes, and it's hard for them to visualize that people actually wore clothes like this, because they see people now in jeans and shorts, and the women look just like the men. There's no difference, and in the past there was always a difference. So it's educational in that way. We did a style show at Patsy Clark's where there were ladies in the audience that were appalled that we were showing these fox furs. And we feel it's an education also in that was what was done at the time. The lady modeling the fox furs, Helen Donahue, is in her 80s now. She's now in a nursing home. But she went to a ranch up in Colville where these foxes were raised, and she chose the foxes that she wanted for her fox furs. She actually went there, chose the foxes she wanted. They were slaughtered, made into the fur pieces for her to wear.
As the Spokane Vintage Fashion Collection begins its second decade, it's important to note that it's purely run by volunteers. Without their dedication and long hours, this important preservation of our history would not continue.
I love the women that I work with. They're just wonderful. It's something that my husband does. He's our one male model, and so it's something we do together, and he enjoys it a lot, working with all of these great women.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.